The National Hockey League is changing its plans for a diversity jobs fair after Governor Ron DeSantis called them out for being discriminatory. The Pathway to Hockey Summit is scheduled to take place next month in Fort Lauderdale during the NHL's All-Star Weekend. But it was only open to certain people. These people, those identifying as female, Black, Asian, or Pacific Islander, Hispanic or Latino, Indigenous, LGBTQ, and/or a person with a disability. Veterans were also included. The governor expressed his outrage through his spokesman, saying this: discrimination of any sort is not welcome in the state of Florida, and we do not abide by the woke notion that discrimination should be overlooked if applied in a politically popular manner or against a politically unpopular demographic. The NHL has since eliminated any reference to ethnic, gender, sexual orientation, and military veteran status. A spokesperson tells Fox the original wording was incorrect and that anyone 18 or older can attend. Wow, what a change of events there, David. You know, this really gets to this broader conversation, especially, as we talk about Martin Luther King, of getting away from content of the character. This drive towards equity actually is discriminatory.
Well, equity is the new racism, but I want to put a little more context in this. I called a friend of mine who's a former professional hockey player. I was actually going to go to the All-Star game coming up that weekend, February 4th, 5th weekend. Kim Davis is the problem here. Kim Davis was brought in by the NHL, and here's her history. Corporate philanthropic community tied to Hillary Clinton as an advisor, senior manager at 10AO. She pushes corporate responsibility and inclusive leadership practices, AKA DEI, across corporations. This is part of the grift. Now, Biden was speaking to the National Action Network, led by the biggest race and poverty pimp in the world, Al Sharpton. This is a grift. This is a game. They, by doing what Kim Davis and the NHL wanted to do down in Florida, were actually excluding a part of their big base, which, hey, hockey, majority Caucasians around the world, but yes, many blacks. I love live hockey. Right. People of all ethnicities who don't identify when they walk in. They just want a good seat behind the glass.
Well, and Jackie, but Governor DeSantis called them out and they backed down. So maybe that's the direction every governor.
And that's just what I wanted to say. I think we should applaud Governor DeSantis for standing up and saying what everybody is thinking, but too scared to say. You need more governors like that. And he's telling the NHL and he's telling Disney, nope, you're not going to do this in my state, and you're not going to exclude people. If you want to raise interest in hockey, it should be open to all. But the funniest part is when they amended this statement and said, oh, no, it was open to anyone, regardless, as long as you were over 18. That's not what it said. And they were purposefully keeping people out, discriminating in some ways. It's to the point you made in the last segment about Dr. King and his messaging.
Tammy?
Well, their immediate reversal tells you that they know what they're doing is improper. That they normally, if you're going to put something out there, you're going to stand by it. You're going to say, well, wait a minute, this is a teaching moment. They don't. They run for the hills. They say, oops, we were caught. It's the cat that's under the bed. They hope no one will push back. It's because based on fear, they've trained a lot of politicians to say, oh, that's too, I'm not going to touch that. Parents have found out that pushing back is important. The left knows what they're doing is wrong. They're hoping you will turn away. We can't do it. But this is it literally, like equity turns Martin Luther King on its head and his dream. Equity turns even affirmative action on its head. Affirmative action is reaching out to communities, specifically who think maybe they wouldn't belong in the NHL or at the police department or in the military. An ad for the military for women in a women's magazine. This literally, once again, erases people and tells them not to come. It is the antithesis of what we fought for, and it's got to be abolished.
Harris, you want to close?
So I lived in the state of hockey where I met my white husband. And so if you don't invite him to a hockey game, he doesn't bring me.
Well, there you go.
And if you're looking for diversity, then we don't bring our biracial children, which is to look at them, you wouldn't know what they are. They are an amalgam of all things great in America. Yes. In my heart, I am their mom.
But it's true.
But when I look at that, I just think, well, the ticket for the sport doesn't know what you look like, but it puts you in the seat of places that you might not normally go. And by naturally getting there and loving it and enjoying, you'll bring more. I mean, that's what America is to me. It is the freedom to go and do whatever you want. and then the freedom to bring with you whomever you'd like. And you never know. You just never know. And what do you miss out on by telling us that half the folk can't come? I don't think it's running a very good business. But you miss out on the very thing you said you wanted. Diversity, and not just of skin color.
And maybe we should get back.
Of experience.
And maybe some of these people should work on their character.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, let's get back to that.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.